With Easter coming up, we thought we'd take you onto the factory floor for a look at a holiday candy that's been around for 6 decades. Ryan Lancaster has a story as reported by the Associated Press.
6 decades after the first Peep rolled off the line, Pennsylvania candy maker Just Born Incorporated expects to produce a record number of marshmallow chicks and bunnies by Easter morning this year.
We're here in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, home of Peeps, the iconic chick for Easter time. Of course, it's just not Easter without those famous chicks. Chicks to the Peeps are turning 60 years old this year, and what once took 26 hours in 1953 now only takes 6 minutes on this belt.
Russian immigrant Sam Bourne started the candy company out of a Brooklyn storefront 90 years ago. The business acquired the Peeps brand in 1953 by purchasing Rada Candy Company, which had employed dozens of women to hand-squeeze the marshmallow treats out of pastry bags. Sam's son Bob Bourne was a physicist and engineer by training. He automated the process in the mid-1950s, and a version of the machine he invented is still in use today. It extrudes millions of those familiar shapes on peak Peep production days.
It's a lot of Peeps. There are days that will make 4 to 5 million Peeps.
The company now delves into making different types of Peeps and is marketing the iconic candy during holidays other than Easter, particularly Christmas.
I'd say about 2/3 of our business is now Easter for Peeps, and the balance is split between Christmas, Valentine's Day, and Halloween.
They had their best financial year ever in 2012 with double-digit growth, and the popularity of Peeps looks positioned to continue. Ross Bourne says they've penetrated the pop culture consciousness in a way other candy brands have not.
Everyone seems to have a Peep story, and they're free and willing to talk about how they eat their Peeps and how they cure them, how they store them, how they decorate with them. I don't hear that about any other product. And these are adults talking.
Aficionados send chicks into battle in a microwave sport known as Peeps jousting. They enter Peeps into art contests and innovate recipes like Peepsa, a dessert pizza. People have also been known to write cheeky blog entries with titles like 101 Ways to Torture a Peep. Bourne calls it the Peepsonality of consumers who buy Peeps not only to eat, but to play around with.
On the line, when our marshmallow becomes a Peep, it's when they go through the decorator and they get their Peepsonality. The Peepsonality of a chick or a bunny is going through that decorator and getting the 2 eyes on the chick or the 2 eyes and the nose on the bunny.
The company is churning out more than 1 billion Peeps this Easter season, a record. It sees the 60th anniversary as a marketing opportunity and a chance to connect with passionate Peeps fans. A recent Just Born Facebook survey asked knowing questions like this one. Do you like your Peeps fresh, frozen, or aged to perfection?
There are people that tell me that they put a 1-inch slice, a slit in the film, and they'll lay it on top of their refrigerator for 2 days. No more, no less. Then they are perfect to eat. So it's not necessarily stale, it's just a little firmer. So we have a lot of different people that are eating them the way they want it. They're playing with their food. They're customizing the Peeps.
It's a lot of Peeps. Finally, last night was the final meeting on the topic of overcrowding in the Moses Lake School District. Ryan Lancaster talked with many parents this week who were concerned about some of the district's proposals for how to deal with the problem.
As the Moses Lake School District prepares to hold its final public meeting on the issue of secondary crowding this Thursday, some community members say they're hesitant to choose from a list of 4 proposed solutions. The meetings on the issue started last summer after the failure of a $115 million bond that would have funded a new high school and 2 new elementary schools. The district is now in the process of forming another long-range planning committee that will look at how to address overcrowding in the next 10 to 20 years, likely through another bond. But meanwhile, Superintendent Michelle Price says shorter-term solutions are needed to deal with the lack of space.
The hallways, the cafeterias, the libraries, the bathrooms, where kids can't move around. At Chief Mo Middle School, there are sardines walking through the hallways, and you got kids on top of each other to get into their lockers.
Price says the district has sorted through input gleaned from the public meetings and an online survey to come up with 4 possible options.
Each meeting, we've brought back something different that was responsive to the input that we received or the questions we received.
The options are do nothing, move sixth graders into elementary schools, move to a staggered year-round schedule for all students, or make Central Basin Secondary School into a middle school and expand the school day at the high school. Amy Jorgensen has 4 kids in the Moses Lake school system. She feels that the only ideas presented for final consideration are intentionally unpopular.
The administration and the school board want a new high school, and they're upset that the bond didn't pass. So they're going to ram the new high school through by making these other options unattractive.
Several other Moses Lake parents and residents we spoke with about this issue share Jorgensen's concerns that the proposed options won't do enough to alleviate overcrowding and are not an accurate representation of the community as a whole. Some raise the fact that the district survey was only sent out to a few thousand people and only in English. Michelle Price.
It was put on our website. It was done only in English, but that said, we did meet with our migrant and ELL families to talk about what was going on and to get their feedback and input.
Former school board member Randy Bruce is among the district's critics. Like Jorgensen, he believes there's a preconceived agenda behind the district's proposed options.
I believe they want 3 schools, and if it hurts bad enough, we'll vote and do it. I think they are still reeling from losing the bond the last time.
Bruce believes the biggest mistake the school board could make is undoing the alternative high school program at Columbia Basin Secondary School.
Closing alternative school, it's ridiculous. We're not fixing anything. We're still going to have to build schools, and it makes our high school situation worse.
Bruce says closing CBSS would inject as many as 100 students into an already overpacked high school. But Price asserts the option would allow the district to focus on grades 9 through 12 by taking care of anticipated middle school growth for the next 6 years.
It's not that their needs aren't important and that we don't want to meet them. We absolutely do. But when we look at the big picture of we have 7,900 students in the system and we've got about 3,500 of them that are impacted in this crowding situation, how do we look at the big scope?
Long term, Bruce and others see the need for another high school, but he says for now the district should spare CBSS by sending 6th graders back to elementary school.
This problem's not going away, and we can have all the meetings we want, and it's not addressing the problem or solving it. And I wish we had administration would just take action and do something and go about it.
That, says Price, is just what they finished asking the community to help them do.
You know, I got an email yesterday of all these options stink, and it's like, okay, but what other ideas do you have? Because that's where we get stuck, is that there is no easy option, and change is hard for all of us.
Jorgensen admits she doesn't know what the best option is at this point, but she feels the district should keep looking and keep trying to get the community involved before settling on something she says could be irreversible.
You know, yes, we need to do something. We need to think ahead. We need to have vision, but do we need to rush into a decision to dissolve CBSS? No, we don't. That's a poor choice.
The final meeting on secondary overcrowding takes place Thursday, March 21st, starting at 6:30 p.m. at the Moses Lake Civic Center Auditorium. More info is available at moseslakeschools.org. For iFIBER 1 News, this is Ryan Lancaster reporting.
And we'll have a story posted over the weekend on how last night's packed public meeting went. Just visit iFIBER1.com. That's going to do it for us here at iFIBER 1 News. We want to thank you for watching, and we'll see you again soon.